What up guys, Fojo here, and today I'm coming to you with a review for Tiny Tina's Wonderland. It's just my initial thoughts on the game. I've played a few levels of it so far, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it. And when I play a little more, I'll give a full review of what I think of the game. And so right away, I want to say that the visuals of this game are beautiful. It's definitely a Borderlands game with a twist. It looks great visually, very appealing, and the storytelling so far has been great. It very much keeps me interested in what's going on, but there are a few things that take me out of that, and I'll talk about those a little later. But real quick, if you guys could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, it would mean a lot to me. We're really close to 1,000 subs now. But these are kind of my initial thoughts and what I think of the game so far. Leave a comment about what you think about Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and if you thought it was a good purchase, what you think about the game, or what are your complaints about the game right now. Now, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a Borderlands game, so going into that, you have to know that Borderlands is very gun-heavy gameplay, but this also has a spin of D&D within it. So you're going to be finding dice around the world. You're going to find all kinds of D&D elements in the game. There's tons of castles and all kinds of fantasy features in this game that you wouldn't see in a normal Borderlands game. And it's basically that you're inside of the D&D tabletop running through this gameplay and through this campaign of D&D as this character, which I really appreciate. I myself do play D&D and I enjoy it very much. So seeing a game that has some D&D elements put into it is very cool. What's funny is, thus far what I've heard is that everyone's biggest complaint is that it is a Borderlands game and how it plays, which is funny, but also kind of how I felt as well when I first started playing it. I wish there were more of the D&D elements within it. They do a great job with the storytelling so far, but I do think it's kind of missing out on the medieval type weapons and kind of more of a hard lean into that, and like using magic and all these different things. As far as I'm aware, there is magic on every character. You're allowed like one spell slot at least, and some have more depending on what class you pick. And the classes are brr-zerker, spell shot, clawbringer, spore warden, graveborn, and stabbomancer. All of these are slightly different, have different unique powers, will give you different ways to deal with enemies based on what that class is. But none of them are so different that it's going to change your gameplay hugely, as far as I've seen. I've also heard that eventually you can subclass and have multiple classes, as well as late game you get to pick out a few more specific things to your character to add. But really, thus far, the game has been a lot of fun. Going into it, you need to know it is a Borderlands game, like I said earlier, but I think it's definitely worth a play. There are a ton of looting options in here. This goes anywhere from hitting a chest with gold in it to an ammo chest or a gun chest. Not a ton of gun chests out there, which I totally understand. It makes sense because you also get guns from enemies. But the ammo chests are a bit excessive, as well as the gold chests. I know you're going to need gold when you die and etc., but at the same time, going and looting all these chests kind of takes away from playing through the game itself. The inventory management is a little rough. You don't have a ton of space, and it's kind of weird how you have to go about moving things, deleting things, and selling things. I've definitely sold my main weapons and spells on accident multiple times already, and it's just kind of an odd thing that happens that shouldn't happen. But they also have 20-sided dice that you can hit and randomly get lucky drops of weapons and ammo and spells. And these dice will give you a random roll from 1 to 20, and it will give you better loot based upon your roll. And these are a really cool addition to the game. Really amazing. I love this part. Now, the ammo chests do have the ability to give you a weapon, but it's not very often. So knowing that going in, it feels bad hitting 30 ammo chests. But other than that, I don't have any major complaints about the game so far. It's a lot of fun, and I'm definitely going to put some more time into it and see what it's like. Everyone I've played with so far has enjoyed it quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to playing a little more of it. Now, at the end of this, I want to say that I am excited about this game and think it looks very good. I think it's more fun than most of the Borderlands games I've played so far. The D&D elements are very exciting to me. I think that's a cool addition to a game and a cool way to look at a game. Looking at it through, this is a D&D playthrough that you're inside of. Now, this game is also very goofy and silly. There's a ton of fun jokes and weird stuff in the game that you just have to hear it to believe it. Nothing short of seducing a drawbridge. This game is a lot of fun. It's very interesting. And if you like a goofy game, this is definitely for you. But it's definitely an interesting view of a game compared to your normal shooter outside the realm of a normal FPS game. But overall, I liked it a lot. The D&D elements are great. Plays really clean. Feels like a complete game overall. Of course, I need to play a little more, get further into the game before I can give a full review for it, which I will give later on once I play more of the game. I want to thank you guys so much for listen to me talk about Tiny Tina's Wonderland a little bit and get my initial thoughts about what I think about the game so far. But also, if you guys could like the video and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. And leave a comment about Tiny Tina's Wonderland and let me know what you think about the game, what problems you have with it, what do you love about it. We'll have more videos out soon. I hope to see you there.